Well folks, the Stewie 2K saga has finally turned a new page. After over half a year of dismal results and uncertainty, Stewie announced that he would be stepping away from competitive play to focus on content creation for EG, playing both CSGO and Valorant. Let's unpack what we know and see if we can't read into the future. Now before we get into the video, I wanted to let you all know that we'll be co-streaming EVO this year on our Twitch channel from August 5th to the 7th. If you like fighting games or just want to stop by and hang out, we'd love for you guys to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So as you guys might already know, Stewie 2K left Team Liquid back in January to play for Evil Geniuses. Along with the rest of the roster, NA and CS fans alike were all excited to see what they could pull off. Unfortunately, things did not pan out that way.
Players all around this A site, a little jump towards Ticket. That's a great invitation, but a deadly invitation from Dumao. Down goes EG, forward moves Godsend.
That was a little bit hard to watch. You know, you try to find silver linings. I'm sure the devs are going to have a lot more to say, but there were just very few redeeming qualities about that match from EG.
They failed to make it to Antwerp, Dallas, and really any important event. It was a massive blow for an org trying to revitalize itself, and Stewie, well, he was almost always the center of attention for every hiccup. If this EG roster was an experiment, it was definitely a failed one. Every solution they threw at it was a band-aid on a bullet wound, culminating in them turning into a rotating 15-man roster.
Instead of taking a step back and sort of recalibrating, EG doubled down. In fact, they tripled down. To the shock of pretty much the entire esports world, EG announced that they'd signed both party astronauts and Carpe Diem so as to forge and field a staggering 15-person CSGO roster.
Since then, things have been up in the air, and Stewie hadn't really played with the team properly since the end of April. As a result, everyone's been patiently waiting for an update, and we finally got it, and it definitely surprised a few people. Via Twitter, EG and Stu both announced that he'd be stepping away from competitive CSGO to do content creation for the org, focusing on both CSGO and Valorant. Now, if you've been tuning into his streams, that's not that big of a surprise since he's been juggling both games for quite some time now. And when I say juggling, I mean recently he's been absolutely ripping Valorant.
Fish?
Oh my.
Enemy remaining.
I also say it's not surprising because people have long speculated that Stewie would eventually make the switch to Valorant. I just think most people didn't expect him to make a hard switch straight to content creation. But it's important to note that at the end of his tweet, Stu does say that his future is not set in stone. So it is possible that we'll one day see him return to pro play in really either game. And yes, this means we now live in a universe where there is a tiny chance of seeing Stewie versus Shroud in Valorant. What a timeline that would be. That being said, sticking to content creation might be the move. We've already seen the likes of Tarek, someone with the exact same pedigree as him, explode in popularity over the last year or so. Stewie already has a pretty big personality and a solid following, so if he's able to develop himself as a streamer, it can be pretty lucrative. Watch parties, collaborations, you name it, it's all on the table for him. And so far, his numbers have been great. The question is, does Stewie still have that competitive itch? My guess is that he does, but he made it very clear that he's taking his brand seriously and that he's not trying to rush into anything just yet.
I'm not in a rush to play Valorant professional. I'm not closing the door on any like pro offers. I'm open to it. I think right now I'm just gonna try to observe a little bit in Valorant. I'm gonna try to watch some games. Yeah, just kind of feel it out, like feel out the pro scene.
But with all the attention that Shroud's return brought, I'm sure there's no shortage of teams interested in doing the same thing with Stewie. For now, it's all just speculation, and I'm sure if something were to happen, it wouldn't be too soon. Although Stewie has made his pie-in-the-sky dream known to the public.
What's my dream team in Val? If one day me and Tarek team up again, I'm telling you right now, everybody in Valorant, y'all better watch out.
In my opinion, this was the best possible move Stewie could have made. He clearly loves to play Valorant and stream, and at least for him, the EG nightmare is finally over. I think like what I'm curious to see is like I always found Stewie a little bit like not low energy, but like he really needed to be in the competitive environment to like really bring out his energy. So I'm curious like how long it's going to take him to be able to like translate that to content creation. Because for like someone like Tarek, it was like almost instantly. He was able to just be like super fiery. Yeah. And Stewie is super fiery, but like we've only seen that in pro play. And if you've ever seen his streams before, it's like he definitely tries, but it's more like it's not as like natural as it is when he's like on stage. So curious to see that happen.